Okay, so here's one of those finished forms. I'm just gonna once more cut it off the bat, being careful not to distort the shape. So just kind of slow down when you get to the end so it doesn't pull it out too far. Now I'm going to flip it onto this wear board here because I'm going to make an oval shape. I need something a little bit wider than the bat is. So just hold on to it and peel it off. So. And now what we're going to do, we're going to grab the sides. I'm going to put 3 fingers on the inside, thumb and pinky on the outside on both of them. Make sure they're centered and just kind of pull it so it's an oval shape. It's going to want to spring back a little bit, but just kind of pull it in. Because this is still fairly wet, like I said in the other video. A soft leather hard. So it still has a lot of give to it. The next step is I'm going to cut this fat piece off the top where that was held onto the wheel head. I'm just going to cut just underneath it with an X-Acto knife. Because I don't really want that. I want a nice clean edge to work with. And this is going to be the bottom of it, so it doesn't really matter that much, but it's just nicer to work with the cleaner edge. So now I'm going to cut some little darts, some little wedges out, just like that, and then we're going to pinch the 2 edges together, scoring and slipping them. So and you could put it on this side if you want to. Just try to make sure that they're centered as much as possible. So you can see that one isn't quite in the middle where I want it to be. I'm going to just cut a little bit more off. Just to make it a little more centered. And then do the same thing to this side. So 2 edges. I'm not overly concerned if they're not exactly the same size, because I like the asymmetrical look of the pots when they come out that way. When they come out a little bit misshapen or not quite even, I think it adds to their appeal. So I'm going to put a little bit of slip on here, and then I'm going to use this serrated metal rib to just cut through and score. This kind of drives the slip down into it a little bit more. I'm going to put a little bit more slip on top of this just to help it, but slipping it before helps push the slip all the way down into the clay, so that it gets a better, I feel like it's a better attachment, a more solid connection. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top and pinch it together like like so, and then I'm going to start at the bottom and pinch those together. Just making sure that you get a good seal. And then take a rib and clean that up. And if you want to, you could come in and put a roll out a coil of clay and put it underneath there, but this is enough surface area that I'm not too worried about it coming apart. So same thing with this side, pull the top together and start pinching from the bottom. And then take your metal rib and just kind of smooth it out. And you can see that it's not quite even. But we're going to belly this out a little bit more once we get to a more finished stage of this. What I'm going to do now is cover this up with plastic and just let those two corners dry up a little bit so that they're a lot stiffer. So when we start moving this around, it'll hold its shape a little bit better. So I'm going to go put this under some plastic and we'll be back in a little bit.